Hello guys, it's Two Latin Brothers podcast, also known as T.L.B.P. I'm Victor.
And I'm Adrian.
And today's episode 44, if I'm correct.
Yeah, 44.
Yeah, episode 44.
We got 8 episodes left before the year ends.
Yeah, we do.
I've been doing this for a full year now, and it's driving me insane.
Yeah.
The schedules are insane.
I know. Well, today I brought a guest, which means my brother brought the questions. If you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Sam. Me and Victor, we go to the same school, and honestly, I'm truly am glad to be here. And also meeting his brother Adrian, because he literally talks about you all the time. Man.
Really? He talks about me a lot? Oh, man, that's...
Well, it's because I'm advertising.
Yeah,
all the time.
You're like, look, guys, I do a podcast on the side. I want you to know that, like, my bro and we type, or we pretend to be type for, like, 45 minutes, like, a week.
You know?
This is like an actual... Like, okay, it's probably like a really bad joke, but it's honestly like
really true.
It's so true. Like, cause I don't have time. I'm like the most busiest person on this planet.
This
right
is
now.
Literally an excuse for us to hang out.
Yeah, yeah, because I'm just so busy. Like, I have so many things going on all the time.
Damn, how old are you?
I'm 22.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'm an adult. I'm in school. I'm like working. I'm doing this. I'm doing that, and I'm doing a podcast on the side. So it's
Yeah, otherwise he'd be going to school with us. Actually, he'd probably end up being in your grade.
Why? What grade's he in?
He's 12.
Yep.
Oh, so you're leaving soon.
Yes, I am.
You know, there's a teacher at the... I'm not going to say his name. There's a teacher there that he used to tell us that you're so close to graduating, you can almost smell it. Have you heard that already?
Yes.
You know what?
You know who I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Because he said the exact same thing to me 6 years ago when I graduated.
So some teachers never change.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah. No, but it's funny. Like, some teachers are like, you know, they're real nice and all. But, you know, it's always interesting for sure.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to ask my first question now.
Okay.
Because, okay. So Victor tells you that you're a really good dancer.
Yep.
Yeah. He's like, yeah.
He's like, yeah.
For those who can't, because y'all can't see, he just like smiled. He's like, totally am. I'm like the best. I'm like,
the whole school recognizes him.
Really?
That's the thing.
So you're the guy that everybody knows that you're the dancer.
Yeah, and also alongside that, how people interpret who I am, they literally say that, like, Sam, you are literally a celebrity here when you walk in the hallways. Everyone giving you high fives. Everyone.
Literally when he walks in.
Literally, most of the time it's overwhelming and truly disbelief on how much I put into dancing, where the outcome of it is that I truly have a major impact on people's lives on the stage and also off the stage. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I have my moments where I kind of gloat a little bit, like, I'm that guy.
I'm that guy. Everybody want to be his friend. He's like, I'm that popular guy in school that doesn't bully people on the side. But you know, we have like, I remember I was like, okay, so when I was in high school, I was like, for a very long time, I tried to be quite literally invisible, like. I wanted to, like, cease to exist.
I don't get that kind of luxury.
Yeah, you don't have that luxury because your best friend is, well, we know who he is. Anyway, I'm not getting into that right now.
Yeah,
because this episode's not about him. We keep referencing him, and we gotta stop.
Go check out that episode.
We shout him out more than anybody else in this entire podcast. So we gotta stop. Yeah. Just because he's your best friend, we gotta stop. Okay, it's gonna get ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, what was I saying?
So what do you mean meant by you or
I didn't like interacting with people.
Okay.
Like, at all. And now I'm trying to become a social worker to work with people.
Hey, that is a great practice in terms of...
No, it's more like the way people grow, right? But like, when I was in high school, I tried to be that person, and then I got to grade 12 and became, well, you've read Othello, haven't you? You know, Cassio. Okay, so when I was in high school, this is a terrible story to tell, but here's the story. So when I was in high school, my grade 11 English teacher told me that I was a lot like Cassio. You realize that Cassio is the villain of Othello, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So think about that now. I'm gonna let you dwell on that.
He's a lot like...
He's like, I don't remember.
I had my train of thought, then it just literally plopped out. Hold up.
He's like, bro, I'm still, like, getting over Macbeth. He's like, that was, like, in grade 10.
English was literally my best subject. And I'm taking it right now. How am I forgetting?
Who's your English teacher? Don't tell me, actually. Just tell me if you're doing academic or applied.
I'm taking applied.
Oh, okay. So I know exactly who your teacher is.
Okay.
I had him too. Also, you're reading Shawshank Redemption, so it makes sense who your teacher is.
I know who it is now.
I need to get back to you on that. I know the...
Anyway, okay, but like that's who I was between grade 11 and grade 12. That's who I was as a person. That was like the perfect description of me. Like, honestly, she nailed it. And the other thing too is like I was that guy who sat like at the back of the room in the corner next to the window, just like when the bell rang and just jump out the window. So like there was like interesting story. There was this one time we had this teacher, or actually our law teacher, who I'm sure you know who he is, the law teacher. He was telling us that we asked him like if there was ever like a time where a student in his class like had done something crazy. He tells us that there was a student. He used to teach a class on the second floor. It's like one day the student walks in. He's like, and it just reeked like weed, like crazy weed. He's like, and then the phone rang. So I grabbed the phone, right, and I put it to my ear. And this kid opens the window and just jumps out the window. It's like, I kid you not, I never saw him again. We all go, what? We go, did he die? He goes, no, he lied. Like I saw him. Like I dropped the phone and ran to the window. He's like, and he just like ran off. He's like, but I never saw him again. And we're all like, that's crazy.
Did no one call the police?
Oh, I mean,
No one called. He got back up, so he must be fine. Or he's just so gone in his mind that he couldn't feel it.
no, but like the other thing too is like we were like, but we all looked up the window. Like he jumped out this window. Like, how did you do it? We're like, how did he not break a leg? Like there's sidewalk down there. Like was that still there? Was that there before, or is that you? Like we're like asking questions. We're like, how long ago? It was just like 10, 12.
You know,
like,
he's professional parkour.
yeah. No, but it was like there's always stories like that like are insane. Also like how the school used to have 2 times, so like 1 in the morning, 1 in the afternoon. And there's a teacher who says that it would be so confusing at one point because you'd be teaching like anywhere between 5 to 6 grade 9 math classes, and they were all like the same. So he'd be like, I walk in, like, what? He's like, by nighttime, he's like, I walk in, he's like, have I taught this to you guys already? Like, I don't even know. Like, I don't even know if I've taught you this already.
Oh, yeah, that's messed up.
He retired already, but he would always joke about that. He's like, and he'd like show up to class like, okay, so we're gonna do, wait, have we talked about binomials already? Like, I don't even, we're like, you're only teaching like 3 classes, calm down. He's like, grade 9, 10, 11, like, calm down. This isn't even that complicated.
My music teacher's getting lost because she's teaching grade 10, 11, and 12 all in one class.
Oh yeah, because there's not enough people to have them in separate classes.
Yeah.
So that tends to happen.
There's like 2 grade 12s.
There's only 2 grade 12s?
There's 2 grade 12s.
Wow.
For music.
That's nuts.
But in band, we have more.
when I was in high school, there was a separate grade 12 class for music. Because there was like 20 grade 12s. There was like 40. No, there was 20 grade 12s, 15 grade 11s. And then, actually, the grade 11 class, when I was in grade 10, the entire class was girls, which is super interesting.
I think there's only like 6 grade 11s.
And then there was like a whole grade 10 class.
10s.
There was like 30 grade 10s and then like a million grade 9s. Like literally, it's like like the whole junior band was literally just composed of grade 9. Like
wow.
Grade 9 was the band. and then
grade 9 band.
But stage band was always so much fun.
Yeah.
Like, do you guys still have stage band?
Yeah. I'm not a part of it.
Yeah, I was a part of that. That was fun times.
Back in grade 9.
It's like things were so easier back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what?
Junior band was better.
You look back at high school and be like, school as a
junior
whole
band?
was easier.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
So here's my second question because I feel like I should ask the second question at this point. So what are you gonna do when you're done high school? Since you're getting there, you're basically gone. You're no longer. You're like you're a pre-college / university student.
So after high school, I'm going to be going to Algonquin for childcare youth services, and also at the same time keep on doing a YouTube and practice a lot on dancing.
Oh, so you do YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Said that.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay. Look,
You ignored me.
Again, I'm a busy person. I want to remind you that I'm a busy person.
No, I get that.
This has been my reading week.
Yeah.
But I've done like reading and studying and like.
So you're actually doing reading week.
Yes. You know why? Because believe it or not, while I'm in school, I don't have time to read because I have so many other things.
My music teacher, he teaches a course on Fridays to a university class. Literally, one of his students came during the reading week just to spend time.
And, like honestly, like there are some profs who are like super chill.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I totally hang out with them.
Yeah.
Like, if they weren't my professor, I totally hang out with them, like, as a friend.
Yeah.
And, like, yo, like, let's just go get, like, some lunch or something. Like, let's go do this. Like, I had a professor like that in another, because I've done multiple programs already. Different program I was in, there was just one professor who, like, he invited us all to a bar, like, the entire class. And there's, like, 70 people in that class. And we're like, seriously? And he goes, yeah. So we all, like, but at the time, I was still, like, under the age. And I was, like, the youngest person there. And I'm like, sir, I can't go. And he goes by. I'm like, I can't drink. He's like, I'll get you a Coke. And I was like, I went to go hang out with them. It was so funny. We, like, met up, like, in downtown. And there was, like, 70 people just walked into this bar. It's like, there's no space left. Because, like, we, like, showed up, like, in the middle of the day. And it was, like, 1 or 2 in the afternoon. It's like, it's empty. Because, you know, like, people at work, no one's hanging out there. So we all show up. The whole bar got full. By like 5 o'clock, there was like a lineup outside the bar. People trying to get in. we took all the spots. Oh my God. We like reached the capacity of the building. It was so funny. But stuff like that like I always think about is super interesting. But yeah, no, but the prom you're taking, we actually know someone who took it already.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, she has fun. Actually, I have a friend right now who's doing it right now. Yeah, but it's interesting. A lot of people tell me I should do it too. Because I used to work for a camp where they taught Spanish. And then I was at the Boys and Girls Club for a bit.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I'm going to be doing some volunteer work during this year for Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah? Oh, fun. Actually, I know a lot of people who work there, surprisingly enough. It's super odd because, like, they're, like, some of the people who, like, in some of the places that work there now, or I don't even know if they're still there, but when I was there, like, some of the people had gone to high school with me, and I was like, yo, why are you here? Like, you were that guy who was always, like, bullying people. Why are you here?
It's like, are you bullying these kids?
Bullying
just to stay, like, you know, along? Like,
but they're like, no, and, like, it's super interesting because, like, they're like, no, man, once you leave high school, everything changes. Like, everything changes. You become an adult. You become responsible. You go get a job. You have to start paying bills. You have to start paying for school. So all of a sudden you care now. And if you don't, you just get more debt. It's like then someone tells you go get a credit card and your life become easier. Then you go get a credit card and your life doesn't become easy. It actually becomes 10 times harder because now you got to pay credit card fines, plus interest, plus like the minimum payment.
Yep.
And then you're still paying school because school is just like this like gleaming shadow over you, like, don't forget to pay me, you know. and then all of a sudden you'll be like, oh, I don't have any money, so how am I supposed to go to school? And then your parents tell you you're not gonna help pay you, so then like, oh, okay, so then you panic and like, I guess I'll go to the bank, or should I go to the government? Like, who am I gonna ask for money at this point? Then you go ask somebody gives you money, and then it turns out that they're not gonna give you that much money, and then you panic because now you can't even afford to pay half a semester, in which case you still need to go get a job anyway.
Yeah.
And overall, at the end of the day, you are just screwed.
Wow, I like how we came to this conclusion. This tends to happen, but yeah, no, it's really cool. Do you want to like work with youth and stuff like that? Like,
yes, I do.
There's someone later. I will give you the name of some place you should volunteer with.
Okay.
Because actually I will message someone and ask that for you. And actually I'll follow you on Instagram and I'll send that info to you because he works with a community teaching drama and dance. So he would be perfect for you. I'll give you his name later. Awesome. But yeah, there's a lot of people who do a lot of stuff. Like I used to be involved in so much stuff. And now I don't have time for any of that. Like, look, so here's the thing. I used to volunteer at an elementary school in their music program. So grade 7 and 8s, I'd help them with music and stuff. I basically lived there, and at one point, okay, I basically worked there at one point. Like, that's how they treated me. Yeah. Like, they even gave me my own sets of keys. Like, it escalated. And the teacher started joking around that I would get my own classroom soon because of like how much I was like I was just always there. But it got to a point where I'm like, okay, like I gotta like focus on school and stuff. Like I can't be here every day, and I just stopped going. And then I started like helping out in like other programs and stuff and other services around the city. And now I am too busy for any of that, so they're just people I know now. Like they're not down running. It's like, hey, I do it. And then other people like now, like, cause I do this thing called like placement or co-op for my college, and I work at this like immigration office, and like they'll have people come in to like services and stuff. So like the Boys and Girls Club representative will come in, or like the YMCA representative, so like all these people. And I used to like I did another placement at the YMCA, so I know like 95% of those people that work there. It's like, hey, how you doing? And it's super interesting to be in that environment for sure. But it's cool. You'll if you like kids and you're patient, you'll like it. If not, then I guess you're doomed.
I grew up with three siblings, so one older, two younger. I believe that I can handle it.
Okay, look, this is what I tell people. When people ask me if I have siblings, so like I got one older sister, one younger brother. I'm like, my day-to-day life consists of the following. Do I look good? And look at what I did on Minecraft today. That's what my life consists of. Well, for the longest time, that's what it consisted of. It's like, do I look good? And look at what I did today on Minecraft.
Did you go to the underworld? I said underworld. That's the wrong term.
It's the Nether.
Nether.
Yo, man, Minecraft has been popping lately.
You're thinking about the Ender.
Yo, I got back into Minecraft. Like, cause there was a time I got out of it. Like, cause we used to play like on the Xbox 360. That's a shout out.
Yeah,
that's a throwback.
if Xbox would like to sponsor us,
Microsoft,
Microsoft,
shout us out, bro. Anyway, but so I used to play it a lot, and like I got really into the creative aspect of it, but like in survival. I love creating in survival because it's such a challenge. It's more of a challenge creating in survival than in creative because you have to collect your resources. And you're always super limited by your resources. So like I always
making giant creations.
Yeah, so like
time.
now I have it on my phone, and that's become a problem because everywhere I am, I'm playing it. Like I'll be like I'll show you after if you like. I built this crazy pyramid, but it's all in survival. Like there's no cheat, no keep inventory, no nothing. I built it all in survival. And like I've been working on it for like the longest time, and like I've dedicated so many hours to it. Like I'll be on the bus and I'll be like, gotta get this done. And then I'll be like out here, and then like I'll be like waiting for class to start, pull out my phone, be like playing, and I'll be like, what are you doing? I'm like, just leave me alone. I'm building my pyramid. Right turn, look at me like, why a pyramid? I'm like, because I can't. Just leave me alone. Right? But it's like it's all this stuff, but I think it's super interesting. So next question.
Yeah, sure.
Yo, man, we're not even 20 minutes.
Okay, well, you can still go for another question.
Okay, I'm gonna ask multiple questions. So, what type of dance do you do specifically?
I mostly do hip hop and freestyle.
Oh, you do freestyle. You know, they say that someone who knows how to dance can do freestyle. There's just like someone said that. Who was it?
I don't remember.
I think it was on like Dancing with the Stars. Some guy said that. Sometime when I was watching Dancing with the Stars, somewhere between like the ages of like 5 and now. At one point,
5 and now.
I was like flipping through the channels. And I was
someone
said that. But like, no, it's true because you have to have really good rhythm to freestyle to anything, right? So it's always interesting. Also, like they say that.
Actually, he performed last night.
Oh, well, I'm now hearing about this just now. I didn't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm not a part of your school environment.
No, I know.
I just kind of tap into it once a week with like guests.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I don't like. Look at this. I don't even know how big your friend group is. I don't know what classes you're taking right now. The only classes I know you're taking are music. That's it. In Japanese, because you're always like, I learned how to do this. I learned how to read this in Japanese.
Or like, I'm taking math.
You're taking math right now?
You knew that. I talked about binomials.
Really?
Yeah, that's why you still remember the term binomials.
Oh, I remember the term. Look. I'm a math guy for starters. A lot of people don't know what it's about, but I'm a math guy.
I know.
What
we're learning, I can't believe that what we're learning is just literally foundations for what's to come.
Literally, okay, look, I feel like people don't understand this. Okay, so when you're in school, everything is a foundation up until you get to grade 9. Grade 9 is like, you now know how to multiply, how to subtract, you know, all this stuff. This is where the real world kicks in now, right? Then you get to grade 10 and they're like, that was a lie. This is the real starting of math.
Yeah.
And then they lie to you again and you go through grade 11 and 12. And if you decide to take math in university or college, everything you basically learned was a foundation for the real world.
Yeah.
It's like, now we're going to do real math, guys. And you're like, what?
What have I been doing this entire time?
Like, that was all of the foundation. Like, you mean to tell me I spent the last 12 years building foundation? And they go,
that is not going to work?
Yeah. No, it's super interesting because so for a little bit of context for you and for the audience, they're even listening. I don't know. For some context, I took programming before. Like as soon as I got out of high school, and in programming they use a lot of algorithms, and algorithms are basically just math, and there's like a lot of math involved, and like it's insane. But the really interesting thing is that my math teacher, he walked in and said, "Okay, guys, like very first day, he's like, so who remembers grade 12 math?" You haven't done grade 12 math. You can't put your hand up.
Come on, I already know what's to come.
But what was really interesting was the fact that he asked us that. And I always, and later on, I was like, well, why did you ask that? He's like, also because like everyone in the class was like a lot older than me. I was like the youngest one there. I was like fresh out of high school. Everybody there was like in their mid-20s, some were even in their 40s. Oh. Some people, this was like their second career. Like it's super.
Some people are just like,
it's an interesting environment to be in. And a lot of them had already done some type of schooling, and they just like wanted to update themselves or whatever. Mm-hmm. There was this guy in one of my classes. He was in his 70s. Mm-hmm. And he was saying that he was preparing himself for the future.
Wow. And
we would always joke, yo, man, go retire. Go play some golf. Like, what are you doing? It's like, no. I'm gonna work in the new market in the computers. And we were all so impressed by him. And then and he would always try to be like, he always wanted me to go out with his granddaughter. Because like we were like the same age. And then later on, like he showed me a couple pictures. And I found out that I actually already knew her, which was super awkward. Like, oh, I know her, and he goes, "What?" I'm like, I know of her. he goes, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "Yeah," and then and then we had like this weird conversation. Then I met his wife, and then his son, who was her. Like, it was this whole like weird thing.
You met the whole family.
Yeah, but I don't think she ever knew that I even existed, or unless of course he told her. But it was super interesting because of like that like weird environment. And then we also had this 12-year-old kid in our class. Gifted kid. Okay. He was actually the very first class where he was there. We saw him. We're like, oh, maybe like he doesn't have school yet. We were all like talking in the back because he sat like in the front row. Mm-hmm. We're like, oh, we're all talking. Like me and my friends were talking. We're like, maybe he's like the prof's kid, and he told him the way here. Like maybe he has a day off. We're like check. Someone's like, check the school calendar. What's going on? Right? Because there's like this 12-year-old kid, and he pulls out his laptop and he's playing like League of Legends like up front. We're like, what's going on? Right? we're all trying to figure out why some 12-year-old kid is sitting.
Why didn't one of you guys just walk up to Saxton?
Okay, look, for starters, we're all adults. I can't approach a 12-year-old kid. It looks weird. Also, I don't know if you know us.
You're all nerds.
We're all nerds. We don't talk to people. We like talk, but we're like literally like Skyping each other. Like we're saying like yo bro, what's up with that 12-year-old kid? We're all like typing to each other. We're like yo bro.
And you guys sitting like right beside each other.
Yeah, like that was the environment. But no, where we listened, it was interesting. And then in that class, I remember, and then later on, the professor like did the attendance. Mm-hmm. And he was on the attendance, which one we all panicked. And then later I had a conversation with him, and he was telling me that that he's like I'm like really gifted and stuff. He's like also this isn't like the only program I'm taking. We're like, wait, you're taking another program as well? He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm getting business administration, and this on the side. We're like, and this on the side. This kid was like, yeah.
By the time he's like,
but like I met his mom because she'd come pick him up, of course, because we had a class at like 8:00 at night, and it'd end at like 10:00. So she would come pick him up, and this one time I was talking with him, and then and his mom was like super apprehensive. She's like, "Whoa, why are you talking to my kid?" And I was like, he's my classmate. I was like, we actually doing a project together. And she goes, what? I'm like, yeah. It was the most interesting environment for sure. But I think that's what's interesting about college. Mm-hmm. You'll find people who have literally been through life, and people who have been through life but know nothing about life. They're like, look, this is what you gotta do, but they don't even know what you gotta do. Yeah. They're still trying to figure it out. You're like confused and lost, and you're like, what's going on? But yeah, it's always interesting for sure. But I mean, it depends. Like, also the other thing is always keep an open mind, because if you don't like it, don't continue.
Yeah.
Like me, this is my third career now. You're looking at me shocked.
Well, you could have fooled me. Damn.
Yeah, I'm very indecisive, clearly. Also, I'm in a lot of debt, so I gotta make up my mind soon. This is a problem. It's a problem. Like, I'm just grateful. I'm gonna go be a doctor. It's like 10-year commitment. I don't know. That's just gets complicated, but it's always I don't know. College and university. Well, I think college is a little harder than university from my personal experience, because there's a theory, and then there's like the practical aspect.
Doing it.
Yeah, you actually go and do it, right? Like I remember
have some sort of practicing. Yeah,
I remember when I was in programming, I had 12 classes, and so I had like the theory where they teach it, and then I had like a practical, which was called a lab. Okay. So I actually had 6 classes and then 6 labs. So like they teach it, then you go to another class, they teach it. Then at the end of the day, you had 2 labs.
Whoa. Yeah.
and the labs are like 2 hours.
So basically, to learn the theory, now you got to do it.
So it's like, here's an assignment. This is what you got to do. You got till the end of class to get it done. Go.
Yeah.
So no explanation, no.
Oh no, they taught it.
No, they taught it.
They're like, we taught
That's
it this morning.
Okay.
But here's the thing: if you don't remember what happened this morning,
Then you're literally.
yeah, you're literally like Googling, like, out of your mind, I gotta get this dog. And they're like, even like typing like I remember this one guy. He sat in front of me. Actually, we told the story how like we were like creating a calculator. Like we had to prompt the calculator.
Mm-hmm.
And then my friend who was already done behind, he's like, bro, what are you doing? And the guy next to me thought he was talking to him. He's like, don't forget this. And he shut his laptop and he walked out and we never saw him again.
Yeah.
We're like, did we make him drop out? Like, we never saw him again. He just gave up. It was the funniest thing. Like, it's been like 6 years. It's been like 5 years and we still laugh about it. Because like, just like,
bro, what are you doing?
When he was talking to me, I'd already figured it out, but he was just like angry that I wasn't done yet. But the guy next to me's like, don't forget this. And he slams his laptop, just walks out. It's great. Honestly, the greatest thing.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of things like that. Like the first few weeks, you'll find out the people who aren't for this. Like there'll be so many people dropping out.
They just drop out.
There's just so many people who drop out. Like you'll all start together as a collective. And you'll be like, yeah, we're gonna get it done.
And then
we're gonna be here.
then there's only two of you guys at the
We're
end of
gonna be
class.
best friends. And then like 4 weeks in, half of those people are gone.
Yeah.
Like your whole support system just went out the window.
And be like you're friends with everybody who just left and be like, oh, well, I'm lonely now.
Actually, that happened to... There's a girl in my program who... one of her best friends... I don't know if she dropped out or like she didn't pass a few classes, so she didn't get to move up with us, and she's totally alone now. And I'm like, oh, that sucks. So like whenever I see her in class, I'll talk to her, I'll sit next to her. That way she doesn't feel so alone. But I'm like, because I feel kind of bad. I mean, but
it's like you were with a partner now.
Yeah, like, no, but it's like the other thing too is like when people try to reach out to me, like I've only given like 2 people my cell number. Because like everybody on like Snapchat and stuff. Mm-hmm. But it's always interesting. Actually, only like 4 people in my program have my Snapchat. Because like the issue is like as soon as like you give out this kind of information, people like are always like, hey, have you done this assignment yet? Or hey, do you know what I was supposed to do? Like they start attacking you for like info and stuff. And like you learn really quickly that information is the key to everything. Being in the know gives you power.
True.
But it's like
therefore
also
knowledge is power.
so everybody wants to, like, if you say like something's happened already, like there's an assignment, there's always that one person's like, yeah, I'm done already. But it was assigned yesterday and it's not due till like 2 months from now. Like,
sounds like,
how did you get it done? Like, we haven't even learned about this yet. Like, we were going to talk about it like 2 weeks from now. How are you done already? And then she's like, oh, I started already. It's done. She's like, it's actually really straightforward. And you go,
so nonchalant.
And you go, can you send that to me? I want to see it. and they go, no.
yeah.
Right? But you're like, I want to be that person's best friend because she probably sent it to her friends already. Right? So like, and that's the thing that happens, right? And like, also like, I have friends like where like we help each other out. Like we'll do our exam. Like if it's an open book exam, we'll all get together and one person will do it. We'll all like everyone's brain and we'll like, you know, like we'll help each other out.
And got that one person.
Yeah. No, everybody's brain collectively, like, so 12 people get one exam done. It's open book, right? So like it doesn't matter. But like collectively we all get a good mark. But it's super interesting how we do that. But like, you know, helping each other out because like it's just dead and it's hard and life and whatever not. But you learn to work around it. Yeah. I don't know. I've run out of questions now because
You've run out of questions.
Yeah, I only had like 3 questions.
You know,
because
you didn't ask the most common 2 questions we have.
Well, how did you two meet? Do you remember how you two met?
Do you remember?
Do you remember?
Maybe.
You don't remember, do you? It's like, he's just always been there. He was just always there.
Oh, sweet heebie-jeebies. Okay,
I like how he told him not to swear. He's like, okay, I can't swear.
I do remember when you came to grade 9. I was in grade 10, and I believe that that I right off the bat just said hi to you, like right away, like in the hallways, like saying hey, yeah, good. I don't like that.
Yeah, and you didn't think that was weird?
No.
That some random kid just went like, hey.
No, because I'm exactly like that. I'll literally walk up to like some stranger and be like, "Sup?" And he'd be like,
"Yeah, we've done it already on the podcast."
Yeah, I actually did that on an previous episode called Stranger Things. I walked up to these two random girls and got them to come on the podcast for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So did you just like go to your window and
just like
down?
Hey,
okay, so the story is so here's what happened. Also, the audio for that episode is complete trash.
Yeah,
I continue to apologize about it because it's basically like an audio vlog.
Yeah,
like no joke, it's like an audio.
You can lay
vlog.
down, close your eyes, and you visualize the vlog.
Yeah, like it's really interesting, but we're like thinking of doing it more. But I have to.
We have to figure out how to do it.
How to get the audio quality to be better. Also, like it's kind of hard to record when you're moving around because obviously I did it on my phone. So we were walking around this area. We went to the library. We were gonna go get a room in the library because there's a bunch of people here and we couldn't record because obviously there's too many people here. There's too much noise. So we leave. We go record, and then all of a sudden we get to the library. The library's already closed. We're like, okay, so now what? I'm like, okay, let's go to the back of the library because like there's this little spot. I'm like, we can record there.
Yeah.
We're about to record, and there's these two girls in this park just screaming and shouting. They're joking around, but they're like screaming and shouting. And Victor's like, you know what? I'm gonna go get them on the podcast. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. But he goes, so I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go sit like by this bench. You do whatever. So then he goes and he asks them. At which point we just start recording. and then they left, and then we're like, okay, let's leave. Let's go somewhere else. So we get up and we start walking. We walk through the whole library. Because it's also like a community center, so we walk through the library and we walk all the way, essentially back home, like cars and stuff, like you can hear them in the background. We walk into a Timmy's. We order food from Timmy's, all recording. Like, you can hear the lady's voice. I drop a quarter out of, like, a nickel falls out of my hand. It falls right next to the phone. You can hear, the nickel hitting, like, right next on the counter. Because I put my phone on the counter to, like, pull out my wallet and, like, it's insane. And then
That's kind of really hurt for headphone users.
Oh, no, I got it, like, so it's not so bad.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I like how you're panicking. Oh, my gosh, we lost our hearing. Like, what were they thinking? Who are these people? But, yeah, and then we went to, like, we sat on, like, this bench, at which point Victor makes a joke while I'm like drinking like an ice cap and I start choking on it. And like I'm like dying, I'm like coughing like crazy, and I'm like, oh no. And then I'm like, Victor, just wrap up. So then we wrap up, but it was by far the most interesting episode where we're just like, we also done another one where we go down like this like bicycle path. We're just walking down this bicycle path where it's also like you can hear like cars and stuff in the background. Also on our Instagram, we have pictures of like, because I took pictures while we were like recording it. So like there's pictures and like I took pictures like, oh, there's this giant field. There's this random waterfall. Why is there a waterfall?
What field were you on?
It's actually really close.
Yeah. But that's literally what happens. So we do like these really random things here. Yeah. But do you know how you met him? That's it. That's all we got. You just wait there.
That's all that I can remember in terms of like a vivid memory, but a solid memory has to be. I believe it was at one of my performances at school.
Yeah, I think so. I was recording. Yeah, you guys. Yeah. You
were recording?
Yeah.
Like.
I was a camera guy.
Oh, you were the camera guy. Yeah. Do you do like a lot of like dancing out of nowhere? Do you just break into dance?
No, he totally does.
There's a song playing and he just jumps into dance.
Don't you do dance battles around the city?
I'm starting to receive that much more. But yes, I love battles. Battles are awesome to me. And there's going to be a battle next week at school. So for Boys and Girls Club, there's a big competition for it. So I'm pressing on that.
Yeah.
I should just show up.
It sounded so evil.
I should just show up with like a giant sign. Go Sam.
Yeah.
Be like cheering him on. Be like, oh, I got this.
It's like he's my friend. He was on my podcast. By the way, go check it out.
Yeah, I'd be like, go Sam, and like tiny little letters at the top, and then it's actually just like an ad for the podcast.
I'll be recording it for my vlog, so you better make that sign.
Be really funny. I don't know. We'll see if I have time, because as I've said, I'm a really busy person. But no, there's a lot of stuff that I love. Like, I don't know, art is so suggestive, and that's what's so cool about it, right? Like, people can make you cry by the way they move their body. Like, it's insane.
Like, you portray emotion by what you do.
Yeah. Also, like, you have fun because the person doing it, like, if you see the person having fun while doing it, you're having fun just watching them have fun.
Yeah.
It's the most bizarre thing. You're like, what is this?
Why am I feeling
so happy?
I know.
Literally the same thing happened last night for Coffee House.
No, I know. The crowd started like going. Because like you started dancing and like people started dancing too. And they were just like, eh.
Because like last night, it was actually the first time that I actually danced to like rap and music for like a performance space instead of just like listening it onto my own. Because like past like 2 months, I've been trying to do to the best that I can, to work on my footwork, because like that's basically like your fundamentals as a dancer, just in terms of movement. But in terms of movement, I was trying to somewhat implement more of what's happening in terms of our modern day hip hop, in terms of like where we're doing like a lot of like footwork, like kind of like jerking and kind of like freezing, doing the whoa. So yeah.
For those of you who don't know what that is, just Google it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get into describing
I'm
it.
sure they know.
You'd be surprised.
That's true, actually.
There's a lot of people who don't know. Like, what is it? Like the SpongeBob. You guys know what that is? I'm sure you know what that is.
Yeah.
A lot of people like they go like the cartoon and they go no. It's a dance move. Actually, I learned that when I was in grade 7.
I'm saying this right now. Hardest footwork that I tried to practice on the SpongeBob.
Yeah. It's because I have a lot of friends who are dancers too. Like I don't know. I'm so like I'm all over the art. Like I know people who are artists, people who are like musicians, people who are dance. Like it's. I was so involved in the arts at one point. Or like I just know people who are like really artistic because I'm a musician, so like it comes with the territory. You're just surrounded by all these people.
At one point,
high five.
At one point, I was just coming to your guys' performances to just like help you guys. At that point, I started helping out with art events. I started getting way too involved with like all the art, so I like pushed myself away. I'm like, okay, I do music. I just stay together.
It's like, this is getting out of hand. I gotta slow down.
Yeah. Like you'd see me at like every performance, and I'd be like with an iPad like recording. I'd be like, I got this.
Yeah, I'd be like out there like my phone in 4K, 60 frames per second.
Actually, there was a time where I almost went on a field trip with you guys. But then I'm just like, okay, that's too much at this point.
Actually, there was a time.
Oh yeah, that was for like dance day, right?
Yeah. I was going to go with you guys, but then I'm like, okay, you know what?
You missed the most epic dance battle. I was dance battling
Okay,
against
look.
people.
After this one, no one knows what you're talking about.
Okay.
Okay, look. You guys did You guys did those performances, but I still saw the footage. Okay? Like, I was there at heart.
No, like I was telling Victor how I want to start like a YouTube channel here in Ottawa, just filming people doing their like talent, right? Because like have you heard of Kuma Films?
Yes.
Basically, I want to do that, but here in this city. I want to start that here in this city, but I don't know how to go about it. Also, because I need to get the gear first to record and all that stuff. But once I get that, I'm like, I want to do that for this city. It's like there are so many people who have amazing talents here in this city.
I know.
And if we could showcase that in some form of way, it'd be amazing. And I'm like, but I don't know how to go about that. So I'm just,
I've been thinking about it.
It's actually something in the works between someone and someone else, actually. Yeah. Actually, there's someone else I know who's trying to like create like a talent type show for like singers and rappers. So like they can go on and actually pursue that as like an actual career here in the city.
Here?
Yeah. So I'm helping him with that as well. Or I'm just in the know about it. I don't know if I'm actually going to help.
If you're gonna help,
I just know I'm there. I'm just involved somehow, or I know about it, or something that's going on. But like, there's a lot of things that I don't know. Art is something that needs to be
more uplifting here in the city.
Yeah,
because like I realized like since the starting of grade 9, I'm gonna like kind of like do like a somewhat sidetrack story about myself just a little bit.
Sure,
if that's okay.
For sure.
That's good.
You got like 9 minutes.
Okay. And like, okay, I first came here to Canada when I was 5 from the States, and like, that's when I first started to dance. FYI, I'm self-taught, so I have 0 lessons. So yeah. Cool. But like, up till grade 8, I didn't really practice on dancing in terms of seriousness, just to do it for fun. But in grade 9, that's when like reality kind of hit me about the world of dance, and that like if I want to like move up, I have to actually practice, but also be more in tune with others around me that also have the same passion and same heart. And like, since then, I've met so many people in this city that have so much extraordinary talent, and like, as the people that I watch on YouTube, okay, that do dance, that do several arts, that do rapping and singing, in like mostly in the States, like I'm wondering like we should be having more people in here in the city to be much more well known, because like we are the capital of Canada, and like I know we are somewhat underrated in terms of popularity size, but like I believe that we should be
the ones pushing.
The ones
Yes.
pushing.
Yeah, and that's the kind of conversations I have with a lot of people about stuff like this. But what's super interesting to me is the fact that because we are the capital, there are a lot of like the place right now for that is Toronto. Like for dance and music, that's the spot right now. And then like for art, like for drawing and stuff like that, it's Montreal.
Yeah.
They have like art studios there. Like some of the Disney films art stuff happens there. So like I'm like
Like, and just movies in general. Like,
Yeah.
you'll see, like, at the end of the movie, it just says, like, Quebec.
yeah, there'll be like the Quebec flag at the end of it, and you'll be like, they did some of the movie here. They're like, why? You know, like I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
But like stuff like that, or see like the BC one, because like they filmed in like BC. Like a lot of movies are it's insane how much like movies and TV is filmed in Canada.
I know.
Yeah.
Like basically everything on the CW channel
Yeah.
Literally.
is filmed here.
It's filmed here in Vancouver.
Yeah, and actually some of their like and some of the other stuff is filmed in Toronto.
Yeah.
Like it's like what is going on?
All they do is just, like, put up, like,
Well,
some
like-
American flags to make it look like it's States.
Yeah, but I think someone I was talking with, they're like, if we really put like like a backbone effort, like especially our generation, if we really pushed, our city could become like how everyone knows New Orleans for jazz.
Yeah.
You know, that could become this city, and this city has the potential for that. It's just that no one's trying.
Like for right now, in these streets, it's mostly about like rapping right now. But like for me, the only reason why I practice so much like at school and also after school constantly, because I have a dream that I want to not only make it onto the world stage, but also bring a mark into the city, meaning by a dance.
For sure, you can
You want to put a stamp
a stamp
on
this planet.
on this planet.
in this city.
Yeah.
I was
You want
thinking-
people to know this
every
city.
every time I say this city, I think of the arrow.
Yeah.
I always think of you have failed this city. I always think of that.
That is actually. I don't know if I can
always
quote. Well, you did quote it. So
I mean Stephen Amell, guys. But yeah, I always think of that every time I say this city. But it's like it's really funny. But stuff like that. Yeah. But I think it's interesting how you're really involved in that. I have no idea what else to talk about because we have like 5 minutes left of this.
Yeah.
And I'm at a loss. I like that you were just below 9 minutes. You did 4. You did 8.
Well then, do I wrap up? What do you want me to do?
Well, I don't want it to be a short episode. I want it to be a
Okay.
long episode. I mean, this
I'm gonna
is
bring on
Sam.
my ultimate
Do you know how
question.
many times I've heard about Sam?
Yes.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
He talks. Okay, so because he can talk about me to me, he has to talk to me about other people.
Exactly.
He's like, okay, so the other day with Sam.
It's like he did this.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is why I want him here.
Yeah, and for the longest time, like I think since before we started, it's like, oh, I gotta get Sam on the podcast.
Yeah.
Like,
you've
since
you've been on the schedule for a really long time.
Like no, you were one of the ones he thought of, like
Early in the
like,
game.
right, really early, like almost a year ago now.
Yeah.
Because we started talking about doing this like in November of last year. We started talking about doing this, and then we're like,
We actually sat down, did like a few tests.
yeah, we did a few tests to see like what our banter was like if we had good like.
Good content.
I know, it's just
we
like-
had good banter.
Okay, because we're a comedy podcast. So we
Hey,
can't
I
put.
make you laugh. What are you talking about?
Look, the thing,
See, right there. I made you guys laugh.
no,
I'm
look,
good enough.
here's the thing. We're a comedy podcast, but we're also an informative podcast at the same time. Like, because we, like, some of the people, like, we've had one YouTuber on. We've had you, so you're number 2. I've reached out to other people I knew who are, like, popular.
We've had photographers.
Yeah, I've had photographers on here already. And then people with interest, like, we had a friend of mine who she lived through the tornado that happened. Like, the building next to hers, like, literally got torn apart. Like, she told us about all that.
we inform people of what happened.
Yeah.
Well as not being controversial, but yet like informing you, but you can still have a laugh.
Like this week's
you know?
episode that I still haven't uploaded, like the episode, like okay, actually last week's episode
Yeah.
that's uploaded is about is about the election and what happened in that.
Yeah.
And we really dive deep into it because I can vote because of course I'm allowed to vote, but he just kind of gives his opinion, but he can't vote, so it's always funny.
You know what? I think. Okay.
But yeah, no, they want to bring down the age to vote to 16, so there's that.
I don't think that's a good idea.
I don't think so either, but here we are. The problem is
the wrong people are gonna get the power.
The biggest issue is the fact that most teenagers aren't informed about the political game.
That's true.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, you know what's interesting? Whoever's running the country, it'll still run.
Yeah.
Because to be honest, it's the system that's in place.
It's designed to be able to run.
It's designed to be able to run. Like it's
regardless.
It's gonna take a lot for it to fall over. It's designed to function. I mean, the guy who figured it out was really smart about it. He's like, even if I can't run it or someone else takes over, it'll still work the way it was intended to work.
Exactly.
With minor discrepancies. But yeah, that's really it. But yeah, that was last week's episode. Also, we talked about our trip to Niagara Falls that we did last week.
So that's why you were gone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so we do a lot of things. We're busy.
travel and
Also, we're gonna upload there's a picture on Instagram about Niagara Falls if you want to go like that.
Really, you uploaded?
It's a picture of the horseshoe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Did you do it right?
Victor put a question in there. You can answer. I don't know what the question is right now, but there's a question in there. Go answer that. Also, you want to wrap up.
Okay.
Also,
sure.
because there's a lot of construction, or I don't know what's going on, but
They're cutting the grass.
there's a lot of background noise.
They're getting ready for the snow, so they're making a little blanket over.
This is Canada.
I know. That's why I'm saying they're making
the other day. No, what is it today? Earlier today, I was in the car and on the radio they were saying how.
I love how you literally just said.
I know we're gonna wrap up, but I just gotta tell a story. Okay, so they're saying how they're working on a way to clean the sidewalks better this year, and I'm like, I'll never believe that. I can't believe it. It's
like some bunch of guys with blowtorches trying to melt the ice. Just walk on the streets. I will melt this ice.
Sam's just shaking his head.
Because I was literally talking to this with my mom. I was thinking they should invent some sort of heaters underneath the roads,
the sidewalks and roads and stuff like
That's
that.
already a thing in Germany.
It's already
They got heated roads. They don't have to clean their roads. Their highway, their whole highway is heated.
They're smart.
And some of the principal roads are heated. So it's so the snow will just melt right off it.
Yep.
I think it's in. Is it Germany? I don't remember. It's somewhere in Europe. It's somewhere in Europe where they got that.
Fine, we'll just see.
Can't they just give us that technology too?
Yeah, they invested billions of dollars into it.
Yeah.
You know
imagine all these roads.
No, imagine all our roads. In that. Plus, not just this city, but all the other ones.
And putting it underneath, you'd have to literally destroy and then rebuild.
You see what I'm saying now?
We could always live in the forest while they are doing it.
I like that idea, but I don't know if I'm going to give up my comfort for them to fix the road. I mean, by
the time they finish, we'll be dead.
I mean, actually, there was this one time where I was on my way to work and literally started tearing up the road. There's this guy with this was just tearing up the road. Now it's to the bus stop. I'm like, yo, are you gonna deviate? He's like, no, we're just gonna go right through this. I'm like, the guy's tearing up the road. He's like, no, it'll be fine. There's a giant shovel digging into the ground. I'm like, what are we doing?
Excuse me, sir. You have our lives in your hands. Can we go around?
Yeah, and then so there's this giant crater, and we're driving right on the edge of it, going through, and I'm like, we're gonna die. This is it.
He was trained for this.
I have no idea.
He remembered.
Anyway, we've now gone over the time.
Okay, so this has been Two Latin Brothers Podcast, guys. You guys can follow us on many different platforms that we're on. Most likely listening to us on Spotify or Apple Podcast or Google Podcast or iHeartRadio or a bunch of other things. Well, anyways,
everywhere except for YouTube and SoundCloud.
Everywhere but YouTube and SoundCloud. Everything's always in the description. Our Instagram will be there. Sam's Instagram and whatever else will be in there.
If you want to say your Instagram, go for it.
Shout it out.
Okay, my Instagram is at Infinite Dancer YT, and also please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Infinite Dancer. Your boy ID.
All in the description down below. It's all there.
Yeah.
We'll probably reach out to you again at some point for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
Maybe we'll collab on something else. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see where things go.
Awesome.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, this has been Two Latin Brothers Podcast. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.